Went Back in Time Part 1. And the reason why I'm making Part 1 is because the reason why I'm making this series is because it's been going around a lot. People are doing what if Deku, Midoriya, what if, yeah. And some are even doing what if Sasuke or Naruto went back in time. So this time I'm gonna do it. So basically, the Atsushi clan attacked Konoha after destroying all the other four great nations. It attacked Konoha. And then they destroyed all of Konoha. It was just Sasuke, Sakura, and Naruto left alive. Naruto was fighting the head of the Atsushi clan, and then out of nowhere Sasuke gets stabbed from behind by another Atsushi. And then he realizes that they killed Sakura too. And Boruto was fighting Kiwaki somewhere like in the forest or something. So then it's just Naruto by himself. And Naruto basically went, and then after he killed the entire Atsushi clan for revenge, the head of the Atsushi clan gave him a second chance, set him and Boruto back in time together. So as they were both in the academy together. So Naruto and Boruto woke up in the street in the middle of nowhere, and then Boruto was like the same age as he was. I mean, not the old age where like he's 17, but he's like 10, 12 years old. And Naruto's like, Boruto's like 4 or 5, and so is Naruto. So Naruto couldn't remember where his old house was. So, like, when he was a kid. So, he had to ask Komura, and Komura, since he like remembers everything, his brain's huge. He tells Naruto that where his old house was. So him and Boruto went there. Boruto asked if this was their house, and Naruto said, yeah, when I was a kid, this was my house. And since we were set back in time, this is our house now. So the next day, Boruto and Naruto are just in the house. They woke up. Boruto asked Naruto if he can train him. And then out of nowhere, Naruto and Boruto went in a coma. Because, you know how, like, Boruto's like 17 when he fought Kawaki, and Naruto's like the Hokage, he's old. Their bodies didn't get used to all this extra chakra reserves that they got out of nowhere. So they woke up in the hospital, and the hospital doctor told third Hokage that out of nowhere they just got tons of chakra. Like chakra, if like Naruto got chakra as if he was like greater than your level, and Boruto got level as much as Danzo chakra. So the third Hokage told the doctor to try to wake them up, and 2 weeks later they woke up with like Naruto had like, let's say, a Naruto Shippuden body, but like still small, but he had like, he was taller, he had more room for chakra reserves. He probably just gave half of his regular chakra to Kumura, yeah. And yeah. And so whenever he needs his other half of his chakra reserves, Kumura would just give it to him, and then they would use Naruto's clothes. And Boruto woke up, and Boruto had tons of chakra. He looked the same as Naruto, just in like a smaller body. So the next day, Iruka took them to class, and basically they get to class. Naruto and Boruto are Boruto is just acting all cool and stuff. But then he sees that he can't fight Sakura, and he asks Naruto, "Where is Sakura?" And Naruto says, "Oh, remember we went back in time. This is a whole different timeline, before she was born." And Boruto said, "Oh man!" And then they sat down in the back but in the middle of the class, they were the first two there. And then when Sasuke got there, he sat down in the same row and said, "That's my seat." And Naruto and Boruto were like, "Go find another seat." And then Naruto realizing it's Sasuke, he said, "Okay, Boruto, let's move." And then Naruto tells Sasuke his secret, and how he went back in time. And so then, basically, Naruto tells Sasuke everything, so they become best friends. And then, but he told Sasuke not to tell anyone. And basically, they were doing the 1v1 champion battles. If you win, you keep fighting until you lose. So basically, Naruto was up first against Shino. He blitzes Shino. He keeps going until he gets to Boruto. Boruto and Naruto have massive chakra reserves, so they go at it, blitzing all over the place. No one can even see what's happening. And then you just see a carrot flying from the sky, and a single shuriken coming out of the dust. And Iruka told everyone to get out of the way, and then the dust clears, and Boruto was on the floor, and Naruto was on top of him. With Sage Mode activated. Naruto had Sage Mode activated when Boruto was on the floor. And Iruka was surprised that they had massive chakra reserves, especially those jutsu too. Those were good jutsus. So then Boruto went out, and then next up was Sasuke. He fought Sasuke, and then he swung at Sasuke, but then Sasuke dodged using his one-to-one Sharingan, but it still hit Sasuke because he was using Sage Mode, so it's basically nature and energy still hitting Sasuke, even though he misses Naruto. So then Naruto wins the thing, and basically they go back to class, and Iruka Sensei tells them the next day that they're gonna be doing the exams to see if they pass to become a Geni or fail. So then the next day comes, Boruto and Naruto blitz over there. Before, Sasuke was right at the door about to open it. Now no, Sasuke and Naruto just blitz past him. And body flickers to the seat. And then when Sasuke opens the door, he sees that they're already there, and he's like, How? How? And sits down again. And Naruto tells Sasuke about how he had the Rinnegan and Sharingan, Mandigo Sharingan. And Sasuke is all like, "So I get all that power?" "Yeah, but if you went back in time from then, you would still have all that power." But you did. And plus, you lose your arm. You lose your arm in a fight with me because you betrayed the village, but then I brought you back to the village. After you lost your arm, I lost my arm too. But I regenerated it because I'm awesome, yeah. So then Sasuke was like, at least I didn't come back then. And then they did a test. It was the Shadow Clone Jutsu. So first up was Naruto. Naruto did the multi-Shadow Clone Jutsu, making 50 Shadow Clones all throughout the classroom. Iruka was impressed and said, "How do you have that much chakra reserves?" And Naruto said, "I could have made 3,000 more." Iruka thought he was bluffing, so then Naruto said, "Multi-Shadow Clone Jutsu," and there was tons popping outside too. 3,000 clones, and then they all disappeared. And there were solid clones too. Like Iruka kicked one, it was like a real person. It just exploded after injury. And then basically, he passed Naruto, like already wanting him to become like a Chunin, but Naruto declined and said he would. He doesn't want to. And then it was Boruto's turn. Boruto, he did a multi-shadow clone jutsu and only created 10, but then he still passed because there were solid clones too. And when he sat right next to Naruto, he said, "Good job." And then it was Sasuke's turn. Sasuke only created 2 shadow clones. They weren't solid clones though, just illusions. So he was upset, but then he realizes that like Naruto has his power from the future. Yeah. So then all the people that pass in canon pass, and then but the squads are different. Instead of in their canon, the 3-man squad, they did a 4-man squad. So basically, it was Naruto, Sakura, Sasuke, and then Boruto, and then Kakashi. Because Boruto was an extra student, so Kakashi said he'll take him because he's like super strong. So then, they were waiting in the classroom for Kakashi to show up, but then Naruto was like, "Hey Boruto, you wanna go for ramen?" And Sakura was like, "Why?" And then Sasuke's like, "Sure, I'll come," knowing that he's from the future, so he's probably just gonna go with Naruto because Naruto probably knows that Kakashi's gonna take like 5 years. And then they come back 20 minutes later, and then Kakashi's already there. He got there a minute before. He said, "I like these 3, but I don't like you, Sakura." And Sakura just like, "What?" So then basically he told him to go on the roof, and they went on the roof, and Kakashi asked Sakura what her dreams, goals, and yeah. And she said, "My dreams are," looks at Sasuke. "My goals are," looks at Sasuke. Um, and then it's Sasuke's turn. Sasuke just says he wants to become as powerful as Naruto says he is, and wants to kill it. And then he said, "But I don't want to." And then he says, "That's all." And he wants to become the second strongest person in the village. Kakashi was surprised because he didn't say, "I want to kill the person," because Naruto already told Sasuke the truth about it. And then it was Naruto's turn. Naruto said he wanted to become the 7th Hokage again and not let the Akatsuki clan take over the world. And then he was like, "Wait, never mind. No, I want to become Hokage and be the strongest in the village." Then Boruto says, "I'm going to be the son of Naruto Uzumaki, the 8th Hokage. I'm going to be Hokage, and I'm gonna take on Naruto's legacy as his friend." Kakashi is shocked by this and tells Sasuke and Sakura to go to the training grounds for the belt test, as he tells Naruto and Boruto to stay. Kakashi asks Naruto and Boruto why they're talking like this from the future, and then Naruto tells them everything about how they came from the future and stuff. And Kakashi was just like, "Yeah, sure." And he noticed that Boruto was just like came out of nowhere one day. So he was like, "Okay," but then he said he still doesn't have proof. So Naruto goes in KCM cloak and stage mode, and then Boruto goes into curse mark mode, the jungle, whatever. Kakashi was shocked and said, "Okay, I believe you." So basically, they go to the training grounds and then they start the battle test. And this is where I'm going to end off here, guys. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe, comment, and hit that bell so you never miss another video. And yeah, and peace.